Hey folks, Mac T here, and I have this Black & Decker Start-It jump starter. I have had it in my garage. I bought this thing, I don't even remember when I bought it, maybe 2006 or so when I bought this thing. It was sitting in the garage. I got the power cord and everything yet to it, but it doesn't charge. So I thought, what the heck, I even had the directions with this thing. Holy cow, it's still attached to it. Didn't really use it much. I bought it for a standby, but have the directions here. I'll post this at the end of the video, some screenshots of this, because I think it's pretty rare to have the directions still with the unit, being the age of it. So let's just say this thing's at least 13 years old, but it doesn't charge. As you can see right here, I had taken no light, I turn it on, and no power. Nothing works. Has a charging port, that's right, 12 volt, and then this is the charging port right here. This is the 12 volt power supply, and then you can push the battery. We get nothing out of this thing at all. There's no power to it. But you know, some of the things about this here real quick is it has a 12 volt charging port, has reversed polarity, and this is the button for the light, for the LED light to come on, and then this is the on and off power switch, so you just leave it in the off position, and basically this is the push the battery status, and you should have a low to high on there depending on the charge. The 12 volt power supply has a 5 amp output, and this is the Black & Decker VECO10BD, and I'll put that in the comments and everything here also, or the description, so you know where this is. I don't think you can buy this thing anymore, but I thought, what the heck, why not take this thing apart, put a new battery in it, see if I can rejuvenate it as a power supply, because it come in handy if it does work. And just to check, make sure the circuitry is working and it's just a battery, all I got to do is take this power supply right here and plug it in. You can see the lights come on and it tries to charge. The lights aren't really showing up too much here, I don't think, but the lights are on right here. It's trying to charge. The light comes on, yeah, but that's with the power supply. So we're going to say the power is going through this unit. It's just the battery that's bad. So we're going to go ahead and take it apart and put a new battery in it, and see how old this battery is. That'll tell us how old this unit is. So let me go ahead and take this thing apart and see what we got on the inside. Now, some of the screws on here, you got to have a long screwdriver to get in there, and we just tear this apart. So you guys, I'll run this fast here while I take it apart, and I'll put a graphic up showing how this thing comes apart and what screws we got. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws on the back. Then we got a few more in another location. So we'll go ahead and tear this apart and get her going. There we go. Looks like we have a non-spillable sealed lead acid battery. It's HYS1290 SEL battery. So not too much to it. You got your power cables here and a connector right here and one down below. So what we got to do, of course, is take the battery out. So we'll go ahead and just undo this battery right here. It's in there pretty tough too, so I may have to get a tool to get it out of there. Go ahead and we'll use this ratchet on here, get that done. It's a little tough to get it in here. And we can pull that out of there. So we have that battery out. And we have this battery. Now this is an Expert Power. And that's the EXP 1290. Bought this on Amazon, I believe it was. So we can put this in. Now, reading the directions on this battery, we can see packing wasn't too good on it, was it? And the terminals are not quite what we actually need. If you look at it, the battery is pretty much the same size, but the terminals are different. So this ain't gonna necessarily work on this in order to get it in there, because the terminals are different. They're big honkers right there, and that's not gonna help us out in our quest to get this attached. So we got to figure out what we're going to do with this as far as this battery goes. See if we can't get these things through here. Just almost. What I did is I drilled that out and I got a substitute nut and bolt here. We'll get this all nice and tight so there won't be any loose connection on this. Drilled holes in the tabs, got it just tight enough here. There we go. Got that down there. Tight enough to get her in there. There we go. Seated in. So the connection's strong there. And then we have to take and put this on here. Got them connected. So we don't have any problems on that. Now we have the battery in there all set. And yeah, this is true DIY, folks. We're making this thing work. We'll see if it does. But this is the same battery that I guess is HYS. This is an EXP. That might be some of the problem here in the terminals. But it is a 1290, so not sure. This battery is a 12 volt 9 amp 20 hour, and this is a 12 volt 9 amp. So all things being said, I guess we'll see if it works. Impromptu as it is. Now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to slap this thing back down in here, pulling these cables back in. Got to pull these cables through when you go to put it back together. Slide it back into place. There we go. Let's go ahead and put a couple screws back in. Let's go ahead and see if we got a light. Oh, we got a light. Fresh out of the box, we got a light, so we got some work there. Let's go ahead and see what the push push for the battery says it is a medium charge. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to charge this thing up. Plugging it in, and this time we see we have a charging light that is blinking, so that tells us this battery is going to charge. So now I have to put it the rest of the way together and let it set for 40 hours to charge this battery. That's a long charge time, but we're going to go ahead and do it. So I'll see you back here in a few days, and we'll go ahead and use this pack to jump start a vehicle. Now this unit is charged. Got it going to get it unplugged. It's been doing it for 40 hours. Got a nice green light there and everything. So we're going to go ahead and give it a check and see what it's going to do. So we're going to unplug it, and it's currently on. We'll turn it off. And one thing I want to do, first of all, keep in mind this thing's a lot older. We're going to compare it to the Gulu 1500. But first thing we're going to do, get us a good connection here, and we're going to check it with the voltmeter and see what it actually is going to read for us. So get this one on here, get a nice good check on it, and let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see what kind of voltage we get out of it. And we're going to turn it on, and let's see what the voltage is. We got 13.47 volts coming out of this unit. So we're going to put it on the truck, check it out, and see how it charges. Now, comparing this old unit with this battery that's in it compared to this Gulu, and you've seen this Gulu here. Let me turn this off. 13.46 volts, right, folks? So let's check out the Gulu. And what a difference about 12 to 15 years makes in the advancements on here. We got this Gulu right here, and we're going to go ahead and check it out. And as it stands right here, you can see the voltage, 11.2. Now, in order to get us a good voltage reading, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the boost button. Watch the voltage shoot up, and this is what you do when you go to charge it. But this is out of this little unit right here. And there you have it. 16.19 volts with the boost activated when you go to jump start your vehicle. So we had our 13 for our Black & Decker here, which is a lot older. And then look at the size difference, folks. Yes, this thing compared to this, the voltage change, everything is definitely better now. Small compact packages, definitely putting out some good voltage. So we can go ahead and get this thing unplugged, turned it off, and that is pretty much it to show the difference on it. But now we're going to go outside and see what this Black & Decker Start It does as far as starting a cold vehicle. I'm going to put it on my Ford Ranger because it's handy, and we're going to try to start it by just hooking up to the cables and disconnecting from the battery and see what it does when this thing goes to start it. Might not turn over as fast with lower voltage, but who knows? We'll give it a shot and see what happens. See if I get a good enough connection to get something going with it. Let's try it again. Well, as you can see, not much of a test here. This thing can barely pull it over, so I'm going to say that we're going to call this battery no good. For this starter, I'll go ahead and get that tightened back up, but let's go ahead and wrap this up. Well, that's rather disappointing in what it actually did. So we got 13.36, but this battery just does not deliver the oomph needed to start it. Even a 4-cylinder engine that's cold almost didn't start it. So I will give this another charge and probably just keep this unit around for spare power requirements, because it does have a 12-volt plug here. So just have it hang around till it ultimately dies. It doesn't take a charge anymore, and then I will call it a day as far as hanging on to this thing, because it really does not have enough oomph to jump start a car. A V6 it probably wouldn't even turn over, so not really worth it. Let me turn it off here. I want to check one thing. What is this thing bleeding out when it's just sitting there? And this I'm thinking is part of a concern, because as you can see, it doesn't quite go to zero. There is some bleeding off of power draining it. So my hopes on this are pretty much thinking that we got a circuitry issue on it or something, because it is bleeding off power. So basically this is going to the dump site. That's all there is to it. We will eventually dump it and call it a day. Well folks, that's pretty much it. I tested this unit out and it lacks. It's not any good. I'll charge it again. I'll see what I can do with it. But it was worth an effort to see what it is. But quite frankly, my fallback's going to be the Gulu. The Gulu is worth the effort. This Black & Decker Start-It was sold many years ago. It was probably good in its day, but it lacked a lot of issues. So I'll probably end up trashing it. Probably keep the battery around for some other purposes. But other than that, this unit didn't work. Remember, join MacT Ford Edge on Facebook. Also YouTube. Subscribe to this channel and watch these videos. Also, make sure that whatever you do, remember, my feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day. Band of One's got some great music for you. Mercy Grill has a couple one-liners, maybe a little bit of, you know, after the end of the video footage. And who knows, join MacT Garage, yes, website, and MacT Garage on Facebook. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching MacT's videos. Remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.